100% pure rock. 107.7 The Bone.
107.7 The Bone. That is Iron Maiden's 2 Minutes to Midnight. I'm Nikki Blakk, and Maiden is going to be at Shoreline Amphitheater on August 3rd with Coheed and Cambria. Before that, we had the Misfits, Hybrid Moments. Misfits, well, not exactly the Misfits, but Danzig with Doyle are going to be at the Warfield on May 27th. Tickets for that show are on sale now at goldenvoice.com. Tickets for the Iron Maiden show, as well as the Rockstar Energy Mayhem Festival, are going to be on sale now at livenation.com. Motorhead started us off with Devil I Know. Rockstar Energy Mayhem, July 1st at Shoreline Amphitheater with Slipknot, Slayer, Anthrax. So many bands, I'm not going to name them all, but, you know, As I Lay Dying, etc., etc. And speaking of bands, in the studio with me, I have Paul and Jeremy from BlackGates. Yay.
How's it going?
Yo, yo.
So I think since you guys are I think it's safe to say you're a relatively new band as far as most people are concerned. You can kind of give us a little background, a little lineup, a little information.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
All right. We've been a band for a couple years. We've just been kind of taxiing down the runway. We haven't taken off yet, and I think that's going to be, what, tomorrow night?
Are we taking off somewhere, or are we playing a show?
Yeah, you know, I don't know, you want to say anything?
Tomorrow night?
I'm having fun listening to you talk.
Yeah, oh, man.
We're playing our first show tomorrow night at Rooster's Roadhouse with Mudface, Falling to Pieces, and
Severed Fifth
yeah.
is opening that show.
So finally, after Jeremy and I have been at this for probably 3 years, and we've had Dan Nelson for 2 years, and Luis Barrias is our new bass player. He just joined us probably, what, a couple months ago?
Yeah, he's been in the band for 2-3 months. Yeah.
So now we're just getting started.
So how did it all come about?
Yeah, well, basically, you know,
Because, Jeremy, for people who don't know you yet, you've been in the Venting Machine.
Yes.
For quite a while.
Venting Machine is my baby, and I've been playing the local scene since the late 90s. And, you know, that kind of put me on Paul's radar, eventually, I guess it was. And, you know, I'm a big fan of Paul and everything he's done, of course. And, you know, when I heard that he was looking for a guitar player, actually, a mutual friend of ours was the one that told him about me.
Tim Narducci.
Yeah. We love you, Tim.
So around the time that you guys got together, Paul, what were you working on?
I wasn't working on anything at the time. I had just left Exodus, and I had other bands that were interested in having me play for them. They were sending me CDs, and just nothing was really doing it for me. And there were some people on my website that fans kept signing in and saying that they thought I should start my own band. And it's kind of something like when I had that feedback come in, the next day I was going to start YouTubing guitar players, and believe it or not, the next day Tim Narducci called me up, and he said, you know, he told me about Jeremy. So, I mean, I didn't have to look. Once I met Jeremy, listened to the Vending Machine stuff, we got together, we talked about what we were kind of into in terms of musically. We got together, started playing, and a couple months later we started coming together with some songs.
So then when did you guys pick up Dan Nelson? He was the next to join the band, right?
Yeah. We picked him up in, I think it was late 2009.
How did you guys end up getting hooked up with Dan? Because he lives in New York, and he had just left Anthrax, right?
Yeah, he was on my radar from day one. You know, and I was checking out all the YouTube footage. I was pulling my friends in. Check this guy out. He's gonna do good.
Is this from his solo band or from when he was in Anthrax?
Yes.
From Anthrax.
Yes. Okay. And the day that I got the call, hey, let's get Dan Nelson in our band, was the same day that I found out that, you know, he wasn't in Anthrax anymore. So I was really pissed and really happy at the same time.
Jeremy's an Anthrax fan as well.
Yeah,
you're like, damn it, he's not in Anthrax.
There's
but
no joke.
He's in my band.
Yeah,
now.
so I didn't know how to feel except for the fact that I didn't believe it. I was thinking, and a week later, I was on the phone talking to Dan. And I was just like, wow, this is cool. This is good.
And then for the inception, Uriah Duffy joined the band for the last, I guess, year and a half up until recently. So how did you guys end up hooked up with Uriah?
Uriah's an incredibly talented musician, and he's somebody who, when I was playing with Systematic, Uriah came in and auditioned for bass playing of that band. And surprisingly enough, the guys didn't want him in the band, not for his bass playing ability, just they didn't think he was a perfect fit. I thought they were crazy, and I always just thought to myself, man, I want to jam with this guy. So when we started jamming together, we didn't have a bass player. So we're playing these songs over and over again. We'd get done playing them all, man, we got to get a bass player. I bumped into Uriah in Europe at a music festival and got his number. So I kept telling him, we got to get Uriah Duffy in here. So finally we got him, we sent him 3 songs. And he flipped out over them. And he came in, had them all learned. And this is kind of a funny little story, but I was telling him before Uriah came in, I'm like, look, whatever you do, let's not talk about him joining the band or anything like that. Let's just take it slow. We'll audition other people. Uriah got done playing with us, put his guitar down, and he said, I'm in. And we're just like, okay. So
yeah, we looked at each other and we're like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, he flat out nailed it. He's a great musician.
And the transition for bass players, how did that come about with getting? Because the new bass player,
we stole him from the vending machine too. So hey, it's a small world and it's a happy family.
So for local band fans, vending machine is still going.
Yeah,
or?
it's
okay.
on the back burner, but it's still on.
Okay.
We'll get to it when we can.
Good time. So the rest of the vending machine guys going to come out and see the show tomorrow at Roosters?
Absolutely. They're going to be there, and it's going to be cool.
Awesome. BlackGates at Roosters Roadhouse in Alameda tomorrow. And tickets are still available online, or do people have to get them at the door?
You can't get them online. Now you can only get them at the door. So
okay.
If you want to go to the show, you better get there early because there aren't that many left.
It's going to be the capacity, so definitely show up early.
Excellent. And what time is early? Because there's a lot of bands
early
on the bill.
is 8, if you want to get in a line. I don't know. I guess that's wishful thinking on my part.
So doors are at 8?
Doors are at 8.
Yeah.
Excellent. Tomorrow night, BlackGates at Roosters Roadhouse and in the Bone Metal Zone tonight on 107.7 The Bone. 107.7 The Bone, that is Kiss with God of Thunder. I'm Nikki Blakk, and Kiss is, of course, going to be one of your co-headliners for Bone Bash 13 along with Motley Crue on Thursday, August 16th at the Sleep Train Amphitheater, or Sleep Train Pavilion in Concord. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com, and that show's on a Thursday. You may as well just take that Friday off and make it a very, very long weekend. Before that, we had Black Sabbath with After Forever. And in the studio with me, I have Paul and Jeremy from BlackGates, who are going to be performing tomorrow night at Roosters Roadhouse in Alameda. There are still some tickets available at the door, but you should get there early to get them. And can you guys go over the lineup again? Because it's kind of like a who's who of Bay Area metal bands. And I'd be really interested, to hear the whole lineup and how each band ended up on the bill with you.
Let's see. The opening band is Severed Fifth, and they were actually a replacement band for the original band we had on the bill. Those guys, they're a great band. They have their own sound. They're talented. They write old school type stuff.
Who are they replacing?
Another Void.
What happened to them?
Those guys were a newer band from San Jose, and the bass player, the former bass player, is one of my best friends I work with. And she was let go from the band, and that kind of stuff happens with bands. And
so they had a lineup change, had to pull out.
And she was such a
Pretty
close
much.
friend of mine, and I felt that I at least owed her that I would replace the band and change the opening band. So those guys were the first the guys that we thought of, and of course they accepted right away, which was awesome. Falling to Pieces, they're good buddies of mine, great band. They've just returned to the scene after being out for a couple years.
You can tell people why.
They had their former singer passed away.
Nikki.
Nikki. She was in an accident. She had a tragic accident, and so couple of those guys are really close. I'm really close with them, and so I wanted them on the bill, like right there. Bam, one of those guys.
Their last album had all guest vocals because of Nikki's motorcycle accident. So
it wasn't all guest.
It was largely though, wasn't it?
It was some of Nikki's scratch vocal tracks that they used.
Oh, okay.
And then they had guests on there backing her up and doing certain sections by themselves.
Gotcha.
And they had guest musicians on there. I played a guitar on one of the songs, and it was a really cool thing and honor.
Is that something
Nikki.
that they're going to be doing as well, or
yeah, they're doing that stuff live.
Okay,
which was just super cool. It's super cool.
Excellent.
And you'll see that stuff tomorrow, definitely. And then, you know, Mudface, not only is the drummer for Mudface Paul's brother, but they're a great band. And Chris Densmore is one of the best frontmen in all of the Bay Area. Such a good group of guys. I mean, we couldn't ask for, you know, a better, you know, we couldn't ask for a better Bay Area band than those guys for our bill.
And I don't know if people know, but you guys basically put this show together, and so you cherry-picked all the bands yourselves, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's funny because I saw Chris Dinsmore at a party, I think, I want to say 2 years ago, something like that. It was a party that some friends of mine have because they have the same birthday. So
was it mine?
Yeah.
Oh.
So
I heard about that party, man. I wish I would have been there.
Jeremy and I had just gotten together with Dan, and I was talking with Chris Dinsmore, and they just got my brother to play drums in the band. I'm all, dude, our BlackGates' first show we're gonna do with Mudface. Had I known it'd been 2 years later, you know, but 2 years later now we're doing it, and it's gonna be a lot of fun because you know, when you say something like that you want to do a show with a band, we're going to make this happen, it's going to be the first one. Sometimes it just falls apart, but this is just, it's all the end. Those Mudfaces worked really, really hard, and they work hard. They pound the pavement, and you know, we couldn't ask to have somebody better than all the bands to support us on this gig because they're all going to bring it. It's going to be great.
It's like family in more ways than one.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Okay, wait a second.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
You're welcome.
You know,
You're all weak.
Regardless of the fact that they're brothers, I mean, they would have those guys on the bill any way you think, you know.
Was there anybody that you guys wanted to have on the bill but couldn't fit, or they weren't in town or weren't available?
We asked Slayer, but they said no. No.
Actually, no, man. We got everybody that we had in mind, and you know, everybody was super stoked from day one, and honestly, it was very, very easy to sell the tickets for the show. I mean, I just basically had to sit back.
Awesome. So tomorrow night, $10 at the door?
Yeah. Oh, no, 13
at the door. Lucky 13 at the door, and it's at Roosters Roadhouse in Alameda. It is BlackGates and all the aforementioned bands, and it's going to be insane. And BlackGates is in the studio with me tonight on 107.7 The Bone. This is Judas Priest in the Metal Zone. 107.7 The Bone, and the late, great Ronnie James Dio with Don't Talk to Strangers. I'm Nikki Blakk, and on top of that, we had Judas Priest, Rock Hard, Ride Free. Not sure what's going to happen with Judas Priest since they said they're pretty much done, but I really don't believe they're pretty much done. I think something else is going to happen. Happening in the studio tonight, I have Paul and Jeremy from BlackGates. They're going to be performing tomorrow night at Roosters Roadhouse with Mudface. Sorry. We were just talking about Hell Yeah earlier, and I was like, I have Mudvayne on the brain.
Yes.
Mudface, Falling to Pieces, and Severed Fifth. I got it?
Yes.
Yes. I really ought to write this down. I know. So tomorrow night is going to be basically your guys' first show ever.
Yep.
First show. Yeah.
First show is BlackGates.
Yes.
It's going to be Paul Bostaph's first show ever.
My first show ever.
Make sure you check it out.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
It's all right. Jerk. My question being, I mean, BlackGates has not played in any other carnation anywhere else. This is going to be the first time with this lineup ever.
That's correct.
And how do you pick a set list for that?
It's pretty much easy.
Yeah, we're playing everything that we got.
Yeah.
That's the set list. Twice? No, we got enough material where we don't have to play anything twice.
Really?
Yeah.
You guys have been writing then since I saw it last.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many ideas we have in the can. You know, Dan's got a lot of ideas. I've got a lot of ideas. We just haven't gotten to them yet. And, you know, that's once we start unfolding all that stuff, it's bam, we're going to have 25 songs pretty soon. I mean, it's,
How does the music come together with the majority of you guys being here in the Bay Area and Dan being in New York?
You know, Paul and I, the material that we have right now, Luis wasn't in the band yet when the songs were written. And so those songs are comprised of riffs that I got and then riffs that Dan also wrote himself. And, you know, we just throw them up on the wall, and Paul and I will arrange them. And usually we'll go back and forth and just keep making it better and better and better and better and better and better and better, better until
they get better.
Yeah.
Until we feel that they're cool. And,
is it just a lot of emailing back and forth, a lot of Skype?
With Dan, we usually like to wait until we get an arrangement agreed upon before we send it to him, because sometimes if we don't like something that we did, and he's like, dude, send us something, we want to make sure that we're happy with it first. That way, it's going to be something we can live with. Rather than, dude, we don't want to send that to you because we know we're going to change it anyways, so blah, 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 that kind of stuff, you know.
So you guys basically make whole songs and then send them off to Dan for lyrics and vocals?
Not with everything.
Yeah.
That's how we originally started out that way, and then there was some stuff where Jeremy had some ideas, drum machine ideas, a couple riffs, verse and a chorus. We usually work.
How do you feel about that, Paul?
I have no problem with it. I can smoke any drum machine.
I hate drum machine. I love and hate them. Yes.
It's okay. I'm sure when you're not there, it's just a drum machine.
Hey, when I want to go to the beach, I love drum machines. They're the best.
Awesome. So BlackGates tomorrow night, first show ever. It's at Roosters Roadhouse in Alameda. Tickets will be available at the door, $13. That's cheap for all the bands that you're getting, and for the fact that all those bands are really, really good. And BlackGates in the studio with me tonight on 107.7 The Bone. It's the Metal Zone. 107.7 The Bone and Primus, those damn blue-collared tweakers. I'm Nikki Blakk, and Primus is going to be playing with Fishbone June 23rd at the Santa Cruz Civic Auditorium. I know that's a long way to go for a show, but it's Primus and Fishbone. It's going to be insane. Before that, we had Black Sabbath, also Heaven and Hell with The Devil Cried. It's technically Heaven and Hell, I think, when it's The Devil Cried, but you know, Dio-fronted Sabbath, whatever you want to call it. Pantera before that with Becoming, Metallica with Escape. BlackGates in the studio with me tonight. I have Paul and Jeremy. They're going to be performing tomorrow night at Roosters Roadhouse in Alameda. Tickets will be available at the door, but you're going to want to get there early to get them because you guys have already sold quite a few, right?
Yeah.
Just about all of them, yes.
Jeremy sold 60 on his own.
60? Wow.
60.
You are quite the hawker.
It was unexpected.
He got
for the man who's not on Twitter, that's a lot of tickets to sell.
Twitter?
Yeah.
Twitter.
Twitter. It's a social networking application.
Okay, Twitter.
Yeah.
No, I've heard of it.
So very few tickets available, but there will be tickets at the door. People should get there early. Doors are at 8. And you have got Severed Fifth opening up, then Falling to Pieces, Mudface, and BlackGates closing out the night. Since this is the first show ever for BlackGates, people I'm sure are wanting to know, what does that mean? What's next? Is there a forthcoming album? Where can they buy the music? Is there a tour on the way? What kind of things are going on in the future?
Well, after this show, we'll start obviously booking other ones. Dan's gonna have a baby, so
Mazel tov.
She's his wife's due anytime. So after this show, we might have a brief hiatus, so that they can kind of
briefer than the most recent hiatus.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
we'll be able to
it
write.
Won't be 2 years.
Okay.
So we'll continue to write more material, which Jeremy said earlier. We have a ton of stuff.
You guys going to start releasing material onto iTunes for people?
Yes, we're gonna do the 3-song demo. We're gonna get that onto iTunes pretty soon.
And some of that is something is downloadable now on your Facebook, isn't it? Is there something you can stream live?
It's streamed. It's not downloadable yet. Yeah.
But people can listen to it on Facebook.com/BlackGates.
Reverb Nation.
Oh, Reverb Nation. Okay.
That way, I think they're linked together anyways, so it's the same thing.
And your Facebook is Facebook.com/BlackGates, right?
Yes.
Okay, it's not like BlackGates
correct.
Band or whatever.
Nope, BlackGates. Nobody had it, so we were lucky.
So, are you guys putting together an album, or just
now
just writing a lot of stuff?
In the process, that's the goal. Basically, is we're going to be doing one-off shows until we can get the album written, get into the studio, record it, get the right label behind us, and then get that sucker out. And next year is when you'll start seeing us on, touring posters and that kind of stuff.
Maybe we'll even be on tour.
Yeah. by then, you know, Dan's baby will be 6 months to, you know, be a little older.
He'll be done breastfeeding.
Dan will be done breastfeeding by then. Yes, absolutely.
Then we can make the baby become a roadie. He'll be big enough and strong enough.
He'll be the bodyguard. I wouldn't put it past him.
Hey,
I don't know him yet.
I wouldn't attack somebody if they threw a baby at me. that would stop me cold right there. I'd be like, baby's flying. Yeah, okay. I could totally see that. So tomorrow night is pretty much your only chance to catch BlackGates for who knows how long at this point. And you can get the music at Reverb Nation. And you can find BlackGates on Facebook at facebook.com/BlackGates. And you can find Paul on Twitter now at Bostaph Drums.
That's right.
I was going to say, do you know your Twitter handle?
At Bostaph Drums.
Yeah.
I didn't before I walked in the room.
Yeah.
I can't lie about that.
It's true. Paul is still learning Twitter. He's getting used to it, but I'm nagging him, and it's getting better.
Yep.
And you can go to my Twitter at Nikki Blakk, NIKKIBLAKK, and I have a Follow Friday for Paul, which I will explain to him very soon because you don't know what that is, do you?
No, I have no idea.
Awesome sauce. And is there any place else that people can find you besides living in the Bay Area, where they can get more stuff about BlackGates besides tomorrow night, of course?
I don't know. Me or BlackGates?
Both in general.
Well, we have the Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
You can find us on Reverb Nation. Mm-hmm. I have a Facebook page. You can go to that.
Is the fan page yours?
The fan page is mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I remember at one point there was like a fake fan page for you.
There's I think it's Paul Bostaph Official.
Okay.
That's mine.
Okay, good.
Because there's like 4 other people out there that claim to be me.
Is that weird for you?
I wouldn't want to be me. So I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of weird, actually.
You're like, man, of all the people in the world you could be, you know, like you could be Chuck Norris.
You could be Hugh Hefner. Come on.
You could be, right?
What's going on here?
You could be Peyton Manning, you know, you could be
Tom Brady.
You could be Joe Montana.
You could be Joe Montana.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
All right.
Oh, what's there? Ben Roethlisberger out there?
I don't know how many fake profiles. It's weird to me.
Oh, I could be
We're
Alex
getting into
Smith.
football now.
No, we're not
Okay.
getting into football. Stop.
right.
We're still talking about metal. BlackGates is performing tomorrow night at Roosters Roadhouse in Alameda. Get out there early if you want to get in because it's probably going to be your only shot to see them. And it sounds like everybody's going to be there. I'll be there. Tickets are on sale at the door only. So get there early at Roosters Roadhouse tomorrow in Alameda. And BlackGates tonight on the Metal Zone. 107.7 The Bone. That is brand new from Prong. And it's actually kind of insane. The song is called Eternal Heat. It's from their new album, which is right over there. What's the title again?
Carved into stone.
Oh, yeah, here. Jeremy knows. Say it again, Jeremy. Your
Carved into stone.
Prong carved into stone.
I
yes,
love it.
I'm looking at it now, and it's pretty sick. And after having listened to it, it's definitely sick. That was by request for you, Jeremy from BlackGates. Jeremy and Paul in the studio with me tonight. What did you think? Give us your mini review since you've been jamming the album lately.
I love it. I was eating my oatmeal one morning before going to work, and I was on the internet, and I saw the new Prong. And I clicked on it. It kicked my butt, and I bought it right then and there, and I just could not believe how good it sounded. I haven't been this excited about Prong since Cleansing and Rude Awakening, and it's easily as good or better than those albums. And that's my opinion, of course, but I know those albums like the back of my head, and I love it. I can't stop listening to it.
Excellent. So BlackGates performing tomorrow night at Roosters Roadhouse in Alameda, along with Mudface. Oh my God, the guys are gonna punch me in the face for saying that over and over now. Mudface.
Mudface.
By the way, it's Mudface's CD release party tomorrow night as well.
That too?
The new album, Anti. It's a great album. You got to hear it if you haven't heard it yet. And if you're going to be there.
If you haven't heard it yet, go tomorrow.
Go tomorrow.
Exactly.
You're going to hear it live, man. You're going to take it away. You're going to put it in the car. It's going to be good.
So we got BlackGates, Mudface, Falling to Pieces, and Severed Fifth tomorrow at Roosters Roadhouse in Alameda. Tickets are only available at the door now. You can't get them online anymore. They've cut off online sales, and we've already given away all the tickets that we were giving away on the Metal Zone page, so you're going to have to show up early if you want to get in. And we're going to do our damnedest here to play BlackGates off the internet. We're all a little afraid. Just not because of the music, but because I have like a really crappy computer here in the studio. But since none of us remember to bring a CD.
We dropped the ball and we didn't bring a CD. So.
And I would just like to confess, Boneheads, that all three of us in here have BlackGates CDs at home.
Yeah, Jeremy and I definitely have some BlackGates CDs.
Yeah, we got a few
and we didn't bring them.
CDs at home, I think.
We all have them and we forgot to bring them. But since it is on the Reverb Nation page where you can listen to it too, we're going to try and play it off of there. And if it does work, can you set up the song Seeds of War and tell us about it?
Seeds of War. It's got some riffs in that song that, like, I think Paul and I wrote on the first day we ever jammed. One of the maybe one of the sections of that song.
Mm-hmm.
Seeds of War was the second song we wrote as well.
And what's it about?
It's about war and seeds, things like that. Matt, actually, Dan wrote the lyrics for the song.
Johnny Appleseed was actually a really violent man, and this is what this song is about.
It's there's a lyric that's "Drop the truth on tens of thousands. Warheads never lie." That's pretty cool. I thought that was cool.
Dan wrote the lyrics for it, and we've talked about it a few times, but we've played the song more than we've ever discussed what it's about. We just like the lyrics.
All right, well, as soon as Dan gets off the plane tomorrow, I'm going to ask him.
You should.
100% pure rock. 107.7 The Bone.